Hi, and welcome to this first episode of the new Growth School podcast, where we're going to discuss everything that you need to know to be able to grow and scale a self-operating business that can double every 12 to 36 months. In this first episode, I want to talk to you about the 4 keys to being able to grow and scale any business in any economy. That means that whether it's a bull market or bear market, whether the Fed decides to raise or lower interest rates, doesn't make any difference. If you want to grow and scale a great business, it's going to happen when you think about these 4 keys. The problem for an awful lot of business owners and entrepreneurs when they're trying to grow and scale their company is they don't have a framework of putting all the pieces together. Everything becomes a one-off. And when you treat your business as a one-off, you usually make a lot of mistakes because a business is a system. In a system, how you affect one thing affects everything else. So if you're making one-off decisions, you're probably going to make a lot of bad decisions. But if you have a framework for thinking about your business, then it allows you to make better decisions, and it lets you understand how all the other pieces influence one another. So something that happens strategically is going to impact your finances, which will affect your leadership, which is going to affect your systems, which will affect your management, which is going to affect your delivery, et cetera. Like they're all pieces of the same puzzle. So what I want to do is give you kind of the box top for thinking about the puzzle of your business. And once you have the framework, I think it's going to make it infinitely easier to make better decisions, and it's going to be easier for you to grow and scale your company. So if you're wondering, like, what are those 4 different keys? What are the 4 big rocks? Well, I'm going to help you do that by giving you a model that we use in the BizScalers world called the BizScalers model. And it's going to look at the 4 things. So if you get overwhelmed by too many things in your business, you just have to think about these 4 things. And if you get these 4 things right, you're probably going to grow and scale a great business. Now, if you're listening to this as a podcast, just go to the show notes and you'll be able to get an image of this model I'm going to share with you. If you're on YouTube, look in the show notes, you can get a model as well. But obviously, if you're watching by video, you'll be able to see me walk you through the model itself. So let's go to the screen and I'll show you. It looks just like this, pretty simple and easy to get. So the 4 things you need to get right. You need to first get growth right. Secondly, you need to get people right. Thirdly, you need to get ops right. And then finally, you need to get you right. That's it. Out of all the things that are going on in your business, it all comes down to just these 4 things: growth, people, ops, and you. So you need to learn how to drive growth, how to leverage people, elevate your ops, and improve you. And improving you is one of the most important ones because you're the primary driver and the primary bottleneck of your company. So the fastest way to grow almost any business is to improve you. That's good news. But you'll notice that the you is off to the side. It's not where the main 3 circles are if you're looking at this visually. And the reason for that is because you are not your business. You're external to your business. A lot of business owners and entrepreneurs get this messed up. You are not the business. The good news, though, is that you have a lot of pull, kind of like the moon has on the earth. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. Every day we watch the tides go up and down because the moon is influencing the earth. It's not the earth, but it has a massive amount of impact on the earth. So you're not your company, but you have massive impact on your company. So improving you is pretty important. Now, when it comes to driving growth, people, and operations, you'll notice that there's some words underneath each one of those. Let me just blow this up a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better. Because if you're trying to say, well, what does it mean to drive growth? Well, driving growth comes down to 3 things. It comes down to strategy, marketing, and sales. So strategy, how have you positioned your company to be unique and different than other people? Marketing, how are you getting enough leads coming through? Excuse me. And then sales, how are you converting those into actual paying customers? So if you get strategy, marketing, and sales right, you're going to drive growth. You're going to be great. Then when it comes to people, there are 3 things as well. It's going to come down to your leadership, your team, and management. So leadership, how are you doing as a leader in your company? And then how are the people who are on your top team doing leading your company as well? Then you're going to look at your team. How are we doing at recruiting and retaining and developing the right talent on our team? And then management, how are we making sure all the systems are working and running on time? Then when it comes to operations, 3 things as well. That's going to be cash, systems, and delivery. Do we have enough cash? Are we managing the money well? Do we have the right cash conversion cycle? Systems, how systematized is our business so we're not doing a bunch of one-offs? And then delivery, both on customer service and on innovation. Are we developing the right products and services, and are we delivering them in a way that delights our customers and clients, or whatever nomenclature you use? And then when it comes to you, again, there are 3 things, but it's a small circle, so I didn't put the 3 words in there. But ultimately it comes down to your mindset, your knowledge base and skill set, and your productivity. So you're thinking about, do I have the right mindset for running and leading and growing my company? Or is something getting in the way? Do I have the right knowledge base? Do I know what I need to know? Do I have the right skill set to be able to fulfill my function as the leader of this company? And then finally, my productivity. do I in fact manage my time well so that I'm actually leveraging my time to get the greatest impact on my company? So when you look at it, it's kind of a holistic model that basically allows you to put all the pieces together. It's not just sales over here, and it's not just cash over here, and it's not just team over here. They're all part of a system. And when you build the system right, you can scale, as you can see right in the middle. So all you have to do is get growth right, people right, operations right, and you right. That's the model. It makes it really simple. You don't have to worry about everything, just those handful of things. And every week, when you're looking at your company, you just need to say, what do I need to do this week to drive growth? What do I need to do this week to better leverage people? What do I need to do this week to elevate our ops? And what do I need to do this week to improve me? As simple as it gets. Now, what I would encourage you to do if you want to make this practical this week is I'd just print this out and then look at each one of those things and give yourself a score in 1 to 10. On strategy, how are we doing? Are we greatly positioned or not? 1 to 10. Then, how's our marketing? 1 to 10. Sales, 1 to 10. And then when you look at those, then give yourself a score for growth. Okay? You're going to find something's really strong, something's probably not as strong. Then look at your people. Look at your leadership, team, and management, and then go to cash, systems, and delivery. And then you in terms of your knowledge, your mindset, and your productivity. And so you just evaluate yourself on those criteria. And what you're going to find is there are some weaknesses. That's what I would suggest you focus in on. Not because you want to focus on a weakness, you're going to normally go with your strengths. But normally what takes most businesses down are the things that they're not good at. Because if you think of a can full of water, if you got a hole down here, it doesn't matter how high the rest of the slats are, the water's flowing out here. So you need to think about the thing that you are not great at. Whatever that is, over the next 3 to 6 months, pick one of those areas. And there may be something for you in terms of your knowledge-based skill set, your mindset, or your productivity. Say, I want to work on something for me, and I want to work on something for the company. Because if you have a holistic view of how you need to think about this as a company, chances are you're probably going to do a much better job at being able to grow and scale your company. So that's the framework. Now you have a framework, kind of like a box top that you can look at. And once you have that in place, now you're going to know what you need to do. And what we're going to do here in Growth School from this point forward is we're going to give you all the tools for how to work in each one of those areas. And when you work in each one of those areas, you'll be able to grow and scale a great company in any kind of industry. That's what Growth School is all about. So I hope you're excited about the future of Growth School. I hope that you'll not only subscribe if you're listening to this on a podcast, click the subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Because my commitment to you week in and week out is I'm going to provide you with actionable and practical ideas and tips and tools and techniques to be able to grow and scale a great company. That's what Growth School is about. I hope you're ready for Growth School. And by the way, why don't you invite some friends to come along with you? Share this with some other business owners and entrepreneurs you know, because together we need to make a big impact on the world. It happens when we know how to drive growth. So until next week, to accelerate success, Bruce out.